Hello, good evening students. Welcome to Gradeup, India's largest online education platform. I'm Vinod Shankran sir. And today we will continue from where we had left off. Sia is there, Ajay is there, Hani, Deepti, Neelakshi, Khanna, okay, Preeta Singh, okay. Aryan is also there, Harshit is there, very good. So, let us start from where we had left off, okay. We were doing syllogisms and I had taught you the first categorical statement, right. If you remember, the first categorical statement was all x are y. And yes, all x are y, and we learned how to draw conclusions based on that premise. And if you can go back to the previous class or the class before that, you should be able to recall that every conclusion is based on a premise. Every conclusion has a premise, the basis on which you draw a conclusion. Okay? And how to draw logical conclusions, sir? That is what I was trying to teach you. And in that process, we learned syllogisms. And we had started learning syllogisms. And we learned the first one. We learned the first one called the categorical statement. I told you there are 4 statements, right? There are 4 statements I told you, if you remember. Okay, I said of syllogisms. And see, we don't get questions on syllogisms directly. We don't get questions on syllogisms directly. This you remember. Right? We don't get questions on syllogisms, but this particular knowledge will be used. The knowledge of syllogisms will be used for solving those passage-based questions. That's why I was teaching you this. Okay? So, syllogisms, we had learned the first statement, that was all x are y. Okay, suppose this is a statement, suppose this is a premise, and we call this universal affirmative premise, if you remember. We call this universal affirmative premise, and we drew some conclusions based on this. And we checked whether those are definitely true, definitely false, or data insufficient. Now, Shreyanshu Gupta, sir, please explain syllogism. Yes, without part 1, let me start from part 1. If that be the case, then let us start from all x or y itself, okay? And then we can carry on from there, okay? And we will also do critical reasoning question today. Okay, we'll do a question also based on how well we can use this knowledge to solve questions. Okay? Now, very quickly, people who were not there, I'm going to give you a quick revise of what we had learned in the last class. Yeah, this is very good for AILET, for any exam which will have reasoning questions. Any critical reason, any exam that has reasoning, critical reasoning as a part of it, you will be benefited. So, let's first of all understand something. See, there are basically 4 statements which human beings use to create logic. Okay? There are basically 4 statements which human beings use to create logic. Okay? You don't require a pen and copy right away. You have the video, you can see it later on also. Okay? Just pay attention. Okay? 4 statements. Now, these basic 4 statements are called categorical statements. They are called categorical statements. Now, of the 4 categorical statements, first one is called the universal affirmative statement, which is all x are y. Now, what do we mean by this? Whenever we speak this way. We say, all of you are great students. Okay, all x are y. Some of you are great students. Some of you are not great students. And I say, no, nobody is a great student. Okay, so these are the 4 basic statements we use. Okay, now, do you understand the scope of all these 4 statements is what is teaching you syllogisms. Syllogisms means together, how many inferences can you draw? From one statement, how many inferences can you draw, which will be definitely true, or definitely false, or you will not have any information to say whether it is true or false. Okay, that is maybe, sir. It will fall in the middle. Okay, now, no, we are not through with that because we have just started. Okay, Rana, we had just started and we are going to finish that now. Okay, so this one statement we had done was all x are y, and I said, suppose based on this, if I draw conclusions, can you say whether those are definitely true or definitely false or things like that? Okay? And if you remember, no, we have not finished it. Okay, we are not finished it, Rama. Acha, look at this. I said there are two ways of depicting this particular statement. Okay, I said all x or y is this way, or all x or y is this way. We could illustrate the statement these two ways, right? If you remember, and then I say based on this, if I draw conclusions, if the conclusion follows in both the diagrams, then it is definitely true. If it does not follow in both the diagrams, it is definitely false. And if it follows in one and if it doesn't follow in the other, it is called maybe. Okay, so that's where we are going to go. So all x or y, if I say, and if I ask you, do you think, therefore, some x or y, what will you call this? Suppose I draw this conclusion based on this statement and these two diagrams. Okay, based on this statement and these two diagrams, suppose I draw this conclusion, some x or y. What are you going to call this? Definitely true, or definitely false, or maybe. This is what we were doing. So the next one is, it is a part of critical reasoning. You will realize, wait, okay, just pay attention to what I'm teaching you. Once you learn this, and I'll show you how to use this in passages. How to use this knowledge in passages. Okay, so come to this. Some x or y. What do you think? See, here it says all x or y. So what do you believe? Some x or y is definitely true, definitely false, or maybe. What do you think? It is definitely true, sir. Yeah, and pay attention to the class. You see, this is all x or y. If all x or y, then some x must be y. I told you, if all these apples are rotten or if all these apples are ripe, if I show you a bunch, say a basket full of apples, and I show you that tell you that all of them are ripe, then if you pick up a few, those are also going to be true. Those are also going to be ripe. So we say some x or y will be always true, definitely true. If all are true, if all x or y, then some x or y is bound to follow. If all of you are my students, then Hemant, Gurjar, Ajay and Max are also my students. If all x or y is true, then some x or y must be true. And I told you, some y or x, sir, this also follows, right? This is also definitely true. See, this is all y or x. When all y or x, some y or x must be true. And here also, sir, this is y. So what do you say? Some y or x, this is also true, and in this also this is true. Now see, some of you are not able to understand. Shreyansu says maybe. How is that maybe? Some y or x, this is also definitely true. See, some y or x, this is true in this diagram. And here all y or x. If all y or x, then some y must be x. When I say when you take out from a universal set, okay, the subset must represent the original set, the universal set, shouldn't it? Suppose your parents have two kids, okay? Both of you are his kids, the parents' kids. If I ask whether your sister is a kid of your parents, she is. She is. Okay? When the two of you are kids, one must be a kid. Therefore, if all x are true, then some x must be true. If this is true, all x are y, you see, all y are x, therefore some y must be x. And here some y are x is clearly mentioned. Now, let's come to the second one. Okay. Daily classes, I don't think it is possible at this juncture, but then we'll try. Don't worry. Okay. The second statement was this. Now, let's come to see, what are the four statements you have? The four statements I said was categorical statements. Now, you will understand why these become so important. Okay. Now, I'm going to go back to all x or y and write some more conclusions. Use the two diagrams. Use the two diagrams and tell me whether these are true or false or whatever. Therefore, if some entity is x, then it must be y. True or false? See, that's how the statements keep becoming longer. They start extending. See the same statements, okay? All x or y, all x or y. Okay, so if some entity is X, then it must also be Y. Is this statement true? Rama Punj, do you want to use this logic in your reading comprehension passages, or you don't want? I told you that syllogism questions will not come this year directly. But do you want the knowledge to want to use this knowledge in your passages, or you don't want to? Okay, this is true. If some entity is X, okay, then it must be Y. This is true, sir. Okay, so this kind of questions are what you can expect, okay, but not directly. It will be from the passages. Suppose it says, all Indians, okay, all Indians who have the Aadhaar card, wait, listen to this. All Indians who have the Aadhaar card are Indian citizens. So, Mr. X does not have the Aadhaar card. Is he an Indian citizen? Such kind of questions. Now that is syllogistic relationships only. Okay, so if you don't want this, I'll stop this and I'll show you questions and you won't be able to understand. You won't be able to give me the answers. So please listen to what I'm teaching you. Okay. Now, can you make sense of this? Some boys are naughty. Now this is the second statement. Some boys are naughty. Okay. Suppose I write conclusions here and ask you, Acha, some boys are naughty, and then I ask you conclusions. Will you be able to like tell me whether it is true or not? Okay. When I draw conclusions, don't right away say that you are not naughty. You are. Okay. So come to this. Therefore, some boys are naughty. So what I'm going to ask you is, if this is true, then some naughty must be boys. Some naughty are boys. What do you say? Definitely true, definitely false, or maybe? What do you think? What do you think? Some boys are naughty if this is the statement. Suppose this is the basis on which you have to draw this conclusion. Will you be able to draw this conclusion? Yes, very, very good. This is definitely true. If some boys are naughty, some naughty must be boys. Very good. This is true because we can draw diagrams here. I told you the other day that we can draw 4 diagrams. Okay. This is some boys are naughty. Okay. This is some boys are naughty. I can write this. And then some boys are naughty. I said some boys are naughty again. Naughty and some boys. And I also said that. Okay. We also can have some boys are naughty. I said there are 4 diagrams possible. Therefore, if you check this particular statement, you will see that they are true in all of them. Okay, some boys are naughty here also. Some boys are naughty here also. And some boys are naughty and some boys are naughty. Now you might ask me, sir, how is this representative of this particular statement? This is where we left it last class, right? Okay, how is this representative of some boys are naughty? See, the statement is some X or Y. And I have given you all X or Y. Now that suffices. You wanted a subset to be true. I gave you a universal set. Okay, now the universal set is representative of the subset. Therefore, this is true. If some X or Y, this is very much true because the sum comes within this. Okay, the same thing happens. Therefore, there are 4 diagrams possible, of which if you check this, the validity of this, you will see that it is definitely true. But then, let's see. What happens to this? Some boys are not naughty. This is another conclusion I am going to draw. And tell me whether this is possible. Some boys are not naughty. Now think about this. Some boys are not naughty. Okay? This is true in this case. Some boys are not naughty. Also true in this case. But then some boys are not naughty. This is not true in this case. So immediately you would say that this statement is a maybe statement, sir. This is a 50-50 statement. Absolutely. Now you are coming to your senses. Yeah, it is possible, but it is not definitely true. It is not definitely true. Okay? And there are 4 diagrams possible. See, this one is also possible. Naughty and boys. Okay? Whenever we say some X or Y, then you should actually imagine 4 different statements. Please keep that in mind. Don't draw one because you can then get stuck. Okay? Explore all the 4 possibilities. Okay, so draw out 4 diagrams. Now, let's come to the third statement. Okay, let's come to the third statement, and then I'll show you how to use these skills in a passage. Okay, now the third statement is some X are not Y. Some X are not Y. I didn't get the third example. We'll come back to that, Ria. Okay, let's finish this and then let's come back to this. Okay, now look at this. When I say some X are not Y, how all can I, before writing the conclusions, let us see how we can represent this particular statement. How all can we represent this particular statement? Third possibility, I am coming to that, Ria Sharma. Okay, Ria, I'll show you that. Wait. Okay, now look at this. Is this a good representation of this? Is this diagram a good representation of this particular statement? Some X are not Y. Some X are not Y. So, true, sir. Okay? And is this also true? Some X are not Y. Can I also draw this? Of course you can, because you are talking about this area. Some X are not Y. Okay? And again, I want a subset. Again, I want a subset. So what I can do is draw a universal set. That is, I can draw a disjoint set. Okay, I can actually go ahead and do this. X and Y. This is also possible. This is also possible. Now, this is one statement. This is one statement which will never give you a definitely true or a definitely false conclusion. Never. You can try this. You can write any kind of sentence you want to ask, okay, but then don't use the possibility word. Don't use the possibility word, okay, and then write any statement by writing these verbs: is, am, are, was, were. Now, what are those verbs? Is, am, are, was, were. What are those verbs? They are used for affirmative statements, affirmative and negative statements if you add it with no, okay. So you will just not be able to draw any conclusion here. We can try it. You see, the first conclusion is some Y are not X. Some Y are not X. What I'm saying is, if some X are not Y is the basis. Suppose this is the basis on which, okay, yeah, all of them will give probable conclusions. Now you see, this is the basis on which I'm trying to draw this conclusion. Check the statement in all the 3 statements. If it is true in all the 3, then it is true. If it is true in one and false in the other, then it is maybe. Okay? And if it is false in all the 3, then it is false. Okay, so some X, Y are not X, so it is true in this. Not true in this. Therefore, it is immediately maybe. Okay? And I say some no Y are X. No Y are X. If I do that, then it is true only in this. It is only true in this. Huh? All X is not Y. Yes. So where is the problem, Vikas? What do you want? Some X are not Y. I have given you all X are not Y. When all X are not Y, then it is very much representative of some X are not Y. Okay? So in this some Y are not X, you will never be able to draw a conclusion. Okay? So if I say some Indians do not live in America, some Indians, no Y are X, you see it is true in this. Ria, it is true in this. If you want it to be true, definitely true, then it must be true in all the 3. You want it to be false, it must be false in all the 3. Okay? If it is true in one and false in the other, we say Yes, Sanskriti, you will have to. How are you going to imagine? That's why I told you, once you learn these concepts, when you are reading a passage, let your mind work. This is the time for practice. Why are you thinking about the examination now, Sanskriti? Let us go to the exam. The exam is far away. Okay, first of all, you need to practice. First of all, learn the concepts. And then once your mind is open to all these ideas, you will see that you are thinking much faster. Okay, then this is one. And then we go to the last statement. Okay, we go to the last statement. I said there are 4 statements. We have covered 3. Let's come to the last statement, which is, okay, this is the last basis, or we call this premise. If you remember from the first class, I told you that premises are the basis, okay? And here I say no x or y. No x or y, okay? How many different ways can I illustrate this particular statement? There is only one way, okay? There is only one way I can write no x or y, that is no x or y. Now, is there any conclusion that I can draw which can be definitely true? You tell me now. You tell me now, okay? What I'm asking you is, can we draw any definitely true conclusion from this particular statement? Yes, I will suggest books. CR, okay. So I'll suggest books at the end of the class, okay? Now, is there only one conclusion that you can draw? Yeah, only one diagram I can draw. But tell me, is there any definitely true conclusion I can draw from this? Okay, it's a little bit confusing. But Hemant, these diagrams actually give you that that freedom to think freely. Okay? Yes, we can draw. See, if no x or y, then the first conclusion you can say is no y is x. No y are x. Now this is definitely true. See, if no x or y, then no y or x is also. Okay, all x or not y is equal to, all x or not y is equal to no x or y. Okay, so you are restating the fact. Vijay Rathod, you are restating the fact. All x or not y is restatement of no x or y. Okay, so, but then this is true. No y or x is true. And then you can also see some x or not y. Some x are not y. This is also true. Yes or no? Some x are not y. Is that true? See, Mohammed, Khalid, if you say no x or y, then you are restating it. I don't want the statement again. Okay, now look at this. Some x are not y. Is that a true statement? Of course, sir. If all x are not y, then it follows that some will also be, some x will also be not y. It is definitely true. And the other part is also true. That is, some y are not x. Some y are not x. That is also true. Yes, some y are not x. That will also be true. That is how you identify the different. See, the same concept. Some y are not x. And then see, the same concept when it is applied to a real-time scenario. Okay, real-time scenario. And I ask you a question. It's very much possible. Isn't that so? Why should you be asked only questions based on syllogisms? I can actually, syllogistic questions only. I can actually put this concept elsewhere and ask you. Okay, I can ask you so many different questions. Suppose there is this impeachment process going on in America. Okay, I say some Senate members are totally against Trump, and I create a scenario there, and I ask you a question. Very much possible, and you might have to use these skills. Okay, so please don't think that I have not seen the paper. I saw your paper, I understood the new structure, and I said that I must be teaching you this concept, though these questions will not come directly, but then they are going to be very useful to you. For DT, in all the diagrams, a statement must stand true. For definitely false, it must stand false in all the diagrams that are possible. And for maybe, it is here, or they say it is true in one and it is false in the other. Then it is maybe. Okay, now I'm going to write a statement. I'm going to change the statement, and then I'm going to ask you questions. Okay, tell me whether you have understood this. This is the statement. Okay, you can take it to be a passage. Okay, single statement passages. Okay, and then we will move on to a real full-time passage. Okay, now look at this. A statement is, okay, if you study, you will pass. You see, this is why I was teaching you this, these syllogisms. See, आप देखना. Let's see, because the impeachment process is on. Whether everybody goes against, supports Trump, or we have some people who don't go with Trump, that is where it is going to be caught, right? That is why Pelosi was thinking that it is not going to happen. That is, he has the majority and the impeachment process will go nowhere. Is that the way America functions? Let's see. Wait. I know what you are talking about. Okay. Okay. Now look at this. If you study, you will pass. Okay. If you study, you will pass. My question is, there is a conclusion here. You need to tell me whether this conclusion is true or false. I did not study, but passed. Now you need to tell me whether this conclusion can be drawn or it cannot be drawn. Whether this conclusion is true, false, or maybe. This conclusion is true, false, or maybe. If you study, you will pass. This is what your father told you. And you went back, after the exams, you went back and told him, I did not study, but I still managed to pass. Was your father wrong or you are right? What is it? That's what I'm asking you. It is definitely false. Definitely false. Now, let us draw all X or Y. Okay, yes, very good. Some of you said it is maybe. So let us draw this. This is nothing but all X or Y. This is nothing but all X or Y if you can realize, if you know how logical equivalents are made. Okay, now you see, if you study, you will pass. What I'm saying is, there can be many reasons for passing. One of them is study. Okay? There can be only one reason for passing, and that must be study. This statement could mean both. This is again all X or Y. You see, we have come back to the same place. You see, if you study, Sia says never ever happened in life, but then it will happen. You see, if you study, you will pass. The statement says that if you are here, the statement says that if you are here, then you passed without studying. In this, you'll have to study. Okay, now you understand? If you study, you will pass. What I'm telling you is, one of the reasons for passing, I know, is study. It is not the only reason. I did not say only if you study. I have not included the word only. Okay? I did not say only if you study. I said if you study, you will pass. There can also be other ways. Therefore, I am drawing these two diagrams. Okay, and if you are here, you are passing, but you did not study. So this is a possibility. This is a possibility. Understand why I am teaching you syllogisms. Okay, sir. Yeah. Okay. Now, the second conclusion I am drawing is, I did not pass. I did not pass, so I did not study. What do you think? I did not pass, so I did not study. Think about this statement and tell me. Look at the two diagrams. Look at the two diagrams and then tell me whether this has happened or it has not happened. I did not pass, so I did not study. Okay? Think. He may be cheating in exam. Very, absolutely, Vijay. Because I have given you this area, which could also be cheating. Okay? Which could also be threatening the teacher. Okay? There could be so many. And you see, I did not pass, so I did not study. Definitely true. Very good, Sanskriti. How did you catch that? Because if you did not pass, you did not enter the diagram. If you did not pass, you did not enter the diagram, which means you must not have studied. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, very good. Mohammed, Khalid. That's why I'm making you do this. These are not syllogistic questions. What I did was, I taught you syllogisms and I made that same logic here. And this can be in a passage. And now you think. You want to learn it? Say, and then how am I going to teach you? By taking full passages? Let's learn it in a very fundamental way. And then we will go on. Okay? So, this is definitely true, sir. This is definitely true. Okay? I studied and passed. I studied and passed. What do you think? Another conclusion. I studied and passed. What do you think? Definitely true. I studied and passed means I'm here. So I must have passed. Okay? So that is what I was trying to tell you. Okay. So you understood that? I'm going to teach you one more statement. Okay, let me see whether you understand that. And then we'll go to passage and try to do that from your sample paper. Okay, we'll try to do one question from your sample paper. But let me teach you one more concept. Let me open your mind to the possibilities first. Logical possibilities. Okay, and then we will learn. See, this is a statement. Okay? I am either a teacher or a student. Okay? I am either a teacher or a student. This is the statement. Okay? And based on this, we need to draw conclusions. Again, please pay attention. Think. I've already taught you the concept. The syllogistic concepts that I taught you are going to be used, but then I'm going to use different words. Rather than using those straight words like some X or Y and some no or Y, I'm going to start using other words in English. Okay? So let's try. I'm either a teacher or a student. Therefore, the conclusion is, okay, it is possible that I'm both. What do you think? It is possible that I am both. Is only one diagram possible here? You can think about this. Sanskriti. I am either, okay, this is also possible. I am either a teacher or a student. I am not saying that if I am a teacher, I am not a student. No, Akash. No, look at this word. Okay. And then look at this. What did I tell you? I'm X or Y. I did not tell you that if I'm X, I am not Y. Is that the statement? If I'm X, I am not Y. Is that the statement? What does the statement say? It says, I'm this or I'm this. I could be both. I could be both. Like, suppose I have a 500 rupee note or a 2000 rupee note. What would you say? What would you say? That I can have only one, which means this diagram is also possible. And this is also possible. I'm either a teacher or a student may mean this or it may mean this. Because I have not explicitly said that if this happens, this does not happen. I have not said that. Okay, so I have left the possibility open. Therefore, it is possible that I'm both. It is definitely true. Why is it definitely true, sir? Because you have used the word possible. Because I have used the word possible. Okay, what I'm saying is, it is possible. And if I say I'm both, then you would say maybe. Okay, if I say I'm a teacher and student, I'm a teacher and student, then you would say maybe. But because I'm saying it is possible that I'm both, then it is definitely true. That is how words start playing. Okay? When there is a play on words, then you get confused. And that is that should happen because you are in the legal profession. You are trying to get into the legal profession. Okay? If it's all a play on words. How well you can look through. How well you can make logic. Okay? So, when you say possible, that I'm both, I will say definitely true. So, know how to evaluate statements. Okay. So, that is a different one. Okay. Now, you are answering for a statement that went long away. long back. That I gave you long back. Okay. Now, okay. Okay, Sia, using either in the statement is confusing. It is confusing, but then please understand one thing, Sia beta. Okay, there are only two statements possible. That is the affirmative statements without using not. And there is one statement using not. Okay, I have not used the word not here, which means this is an affirmative premise. And when I say an affirmative premise, then the negative side is possible. It's not definitely true, never. It can never be definitely true, but it is a possibility that might always creep in. Keep that in mind. If it's an affirmative statement, negative statements become possible or definitely false. Okay? If it is a negative statement, then affirmative conclusions become possible or definitely false. Why? Why, Mohammed? Why? Possibility क्यों नहीं आती? Either statement में possibility क्यों नहीं आती? मैं तो पूछ रहा हूं तुमसे. पूछना, बताना इसको. Mohammed, I am giving you a question. You either have a 500 rupee note or a 2000 rupee note. What am I saying? That if you have 500, you won't have 2000? मैंने बोला कि तुम्हारे पास 500 का नोट है या 2000 का नोट है. आपने दोनों नोट निकाला तो मैं क्या बोलूंगा? तुम गलत हो. Did I say that 500 होगा तो 2000 नहीं होगा, 2000 होगा तो 500 नहीं होगा? Did I say that? No. Don't. बेटा दिमाग खोल के रखो मोहम्मद खालिद. ठीक है बेटा? ठीक है. Don't jump to conclusions. That is the problem, because you learn something and you stick to that. Keep your mind open. 3 diagrams are possible. Yes. Which one is the third one are you thinking about? Riya Sharma. Which one is the third you are thinking about? That one goes above the other? Yes. That is also possible. Coinciding circles? Very much so. You have started thinking. That is exactly what I want you to do. That is exactly what I want you to do. See, I'm not trying to solve questions here, because I will never be able to solve all the questions for you. I don't even know what all questions you may come across. I'll only give you the knowledge to solve those questions. Okay, so either statement, it is possible. So if I say something like this, what do you say? I am not a teacher. So I must be a student. What do you think? This is definitely true, definitely false. What is this? Definitely true, definitely false, or maybe. Think about this again. The three diagrams you should think. The 3 diagrams you should think. And tell me, okay, this is one, this is another, and this is the another one. Okay, X or Y, or you say X or Y, or you X or Y. Okay. Now tell me, I am not a teacher. Okay. Somebody said definitely false. I am sure it is 100% true. Absolutely, Akash. You are absolutely true. You are absolutely correct. The simple thing is, here what I'm saying is, I can only be 2. Okay, either X or Y or both. What I'm saying is, I cannot stand outside. I cannot stand outside. That is what the statement says. I'm either a teacher or a student, which means I cannot be anything else. I have to be. Yes, very much so. Mohammed Khalid, now you got it. Definitely true statement. That's done. So now you are putting it in, say, logical terms. Logical terminology mein to likhna shuru kar diya. That's very nice, Mohammed. I am not a teacher, so I must be a student. Of course, sir, this is definitely true. So what are we doing here? What are we doing here? By negating the first part of the premise, you can always be sure that the next part is going to be affirmed. And if I negate this, this is going to be true. I am not a student will mean I am always a teacher. Okay, so that's true. Okay, so let's come to the place where we take a question. Okay, let's try to solve that. And that is from your previous sample paper. Okay. From the next class onwards, the questions will be mine. Yes. How, sir? See, Ria, what I'm saying is, let's only think about this. X or Y, or X or Y. Let's only keep 2 diagrams also. Even this will make it clear. I'm either X or Y. What are you saying? I'll be staying here or I'll be staying here. Okay, Ria? Or I'll be staying here. Okay? What you're telling me is I cannot be standing outside, which is Z. If Z is outside, I should be within X and Y. And if Z is part of X and Y, well and good. Otherwise, if Z is outside, then I just cannot go, okay? I cannot stand outside X or Y. That's what you're saying, okay? So, suppose I say this. Understand this. Understand this, please, okay? Let's see this. X and Y or X and Y. Suppose I say I am not in X. Suppose I say I am not in X. Then you have to be in Y because you cannot go out. You cannot stand out. Okay, what you are saying is the statement is either X or Y. The statement is either X or Y. That means I have only two alternatives. I have to be in X or I have to be in Y. So if I am not in X, I must be in Y. This is binary. Okay? And if I am not in Y, I must be in X. Okay? But then if I am in X, I can also be in Y. See, when I do not say not, when I do not say not, then the problem is if I say I am in X, therefore I am not in Y. You can't say that because if you are in X, you might also be in Y. See, I am not in X means I cannot be here, which means I must be here. If I am not in Y, then what I am saying is I must be here. But then if you say I am an X, then the problem is you could also be a Y. Okay, so let's look at a statement. Now let's go to the this one. Wait. Wait. Now read this. Read this. Gayatri and Ranjani are talking. Okay? Understand this particular argument between the two persons. Okay? They are trying to make a point. Okay? Then we will look at the questions. Y and X is a mere possibility. Of course, yes, insane. Yes. Please understand the concepts well, okay, and think logically. Okay. Done reading? Okay. Done reading. If you want to come back to the passage, I'll show you the passage again, okay? So let's check this. In support of which of the following does Gayatri state the fact that Maharana Pratap's forces lost to the forces of Emperor the Great? Now the question is, wait. Now the question is, please pay attention now, okay? The question is, in support of which of the following, which means this is the supporting element, okay? And, okay, this is the supporting element and this is the conclusion. Okay, so we are trying to find a conclusion for which this particular question is the support. Do that. Gayatri says D, I guess. No, you did not understand the question. If you say D, you did not understand the question. Let's go back to the passage again. Okay? I'm going back to the passage. Read it, we'll come back. Wait. Now, read this. Read this again, understand, and then. Okay, Gayatri's Maharana Pratap was courageous, no doubt, but his forces lost to the forces of Emperor Akbar the Great in the Battle of Haldi. The king of a region such as Mewar and the emperor of most of the Indian subcontinent at the time cannot both be eligible for the title the Great, given the historical content. Okay? Mohammed, Khalid, wait beta, wait. Okay. Now, tell me, in support of which of the following does Gayatri state the fact that Maharana Pratap's forces, it must come from the first paragraph itself. It must come from the first paragraph itself. What are we trying to prove? In support of which of the following does the fact that Maharana Pratap's forces lost to the forces of, this supports which one of Gayatri's, this supports which one of Gayatri's statements? What was Gayatri's statements? Okay. Sharan Rudresh. Okay. C. Shreya Mukherjee. C. Okay. Kailash Prohit. Very good. The answer is C. See, Maharana Pratap does not deserve the title Great because this is the supporting element. See, Maharana Pratap does not deserve the title of the Great because of the fact that Maharana Pratap's forces lost to the forces of Emperor Akbar the Great. You see, that is very clearly written. But the problem is the question, you did not understand the question. That was where the problem was. What I'm asking you is, the question was, the statement given is a supporting element for what conclusion given below. Okay? So, see, it clearly says, the king of a region such as, this statement actually tells us, this part actually tells us that she does not believe that he deserves the title. No, you see, read this. They cannot both be eligible for the title, the Great. And then here she says, Maharana Pratap's forces lost. Maharana Pratap's forces lost. And then she says, both cannot be given. And then there was this Akbar who had control over a great territory. So both cannot be given the title. So what is she trying to say? She has given already negated one part of Maharana Pratap. So who should be the Great? The Great title should go to Akbar. That's why. It's a pretty easy one. But then if you only understand the question, do not understand the question and you'll get into this. That's why I taught you syllogisms, because then you start thinking, what is the statement and what is the conclusion? That you need to clearly understand. Only then you will be able to find out the answer. Otherwise, no. You have to know what is the conclusion and what is the supporting element. Okay, let's come to the next question. Okay. Then, Ranjani's statement that Pratap subsequently recovered much of the territory lost in the battle plays which of the following roles? That statement plays which of the following roles? ये GMAT के क्वेश्चन नहीं है मोहम्मद खालिद, ये GMAT के क्वेश्चन नहीं है, ये उसका खुद का ही क्वेश्चन है GMAT का क्वेश्चन ऐसे उठा के दिखा भी नहीं सकते, पता है? You will be charged with plagiarism. Without their consent, you cannot even use it. This is in your website, okay, CLAT's website. This particular thing is, this is how the questions are going to come this time. Okay, which one do you think is the answer? Ranjani's statement that Pratap subsequently recovered much of the territory lost in the battle plays which one of the following roles? Okay, you want to see the passage? Please go back and read the passage. Read this area. Read this area. Only then you will understand. Read this area and think. This sentence, hollow victory for Akbar at best. Pratap's forces were outnumbered, okay? And then Maharana Pratap, okay, and then it says subsequently recovered much of the territory lost. And then this. And then tell me which one. Which one is the answer? Sir, passage. Oh, this is the passage. As a question, please. Of course, I know you would be wanting to see the question. You see. Now see the question. Does she want to say that Pratap was courageous? No. She does not want to say that Pratap was courageous. Rather, she is trying to prove a point. You might say by quoting Haldi Ghati that Akbar was great and Maharana Pratap was not great. But she says that war itself. Now think about it. We have to think about the war because of the war. Yeah, D is the correct answer. Very good. Now come to this is the correct answer because it says form a premise for Ranjani's argument that the outcome of the battle of Haldi Ghati was not of much consequence, because she actually goes ahead and says this. You see, this is what she says was hollow. It was a hollow victory. Okay, and then she gives this. She says it was a hollow victory. How does she support it? By giving this. That's all they are asking. You see, ultimately what is happening? A statement and the conclusion. A statement and the conclusion. Syllogism is what we are talking about here. So can you understand which one is the statement and which one is the conclusion? And what is trying to be proved through these statements? Isliye questions become very, very important. You do not understand the question, you will not be able to do anything with it. I told you that in the first class also. Okay, understand the question and then go ahead and eliminate options, because that should be there in your mind. What is the point the question is trying to make? Okay. It does not talk about courage. Of course, if you go to the first one, because we are not talking about courage at that place. Okay. See, it says Ranjani's statement that Pratap subsequently recovered much of the territory. See, what did Ranjani say? She says he recovered much of the territory lost in the battle. To prove which point? To prove which point? Okay, to prove which point? Okay, it says, what does it prove? It proves this point. That forms a premise for Ranjani's argument that the outcome of the battle of Haldi Ghati was not much of consequence. Okay, that is this is the conclusion she wants to draw, and this is the supporting element she is giving. D is the correct answer. No, Mohammed Khalid, you did not even understand the sentence. Question. Leave alone talking about it. Mohammed Khalid, dekho beta. Mohammed Khalid, let me warn you. A swollen head will lead you nowhere. Get down to the basics. You want to become a legal professional? First of all, leave your ego. Please. I love you as much as I do the other kids. Okay, I want you to succeed. Okay, why not B? Now, is Ranjani's argument does not deserve that Pratap does not deserve the great? If at all, Ranjani wants to say that Pratap also deserves to be called great. It is, you did not even read the names well. How are you going to do questions? How are you going to do questions, Mohammed Khalid? Batao beta, how are you going to do it? जब रंजनी और नाम से आप पकड़ नहीं रहो कि रंजनी ने क्या बोला, रंजनी का तो कहना यह है कि बेटा क्या बोलते हैं, प्रताप को भी आपको ग्रेट बोलना चाहिए ना. Rama, don't make such statements, please. That is not done. Okay. See, he is as much a kid of mine as all the others are. Okay, so please don't make any fun of anybody. And he had a point. He did not understand. That does not make him anyway less intelligent than you are, Rama. Now come to this. Which of the following is the main conclusion of Ranjani's statements? Okay, now Khalid, you can answer this question better, and you will know. Which of the following is the main conclusion of Ranjani's statements? Now you tell me. Okay. So let's come to this. Which of the following is the main conclusion of Ranjani's statements? Okay. Here. Romit, come back to this. इसमें आंसर करो. तुम लोग सब ना मैंने इतने बच्चे हो ना, इतने छोटे हो ना, तुम दिमाग एकदम कंट्रोल पर नहीं रहता. Okay. Okay. So what was Ranjani's conclusion? Very good. The previous question actually gave the answer to this also. Okay. You understood the previous question? You will do this in no time. Okay. And Mohammed, leave it to me. Okay. Mohammed, that you are right to get angry, but then please don't get into an argument. I'm there to take care of you. Don't worry. Okay. Then Pratap is also deserving deserving of the title, the grade. That is the one. See, now you see, if you want to come to the next classes, I want to first of all of you to behave. Okay. If you don't behave, I'll block you and you'll miss a good session. So please don't do that. Free of cost and good sessions. Just for the sake of ego, don't lose it. Okay? Then, okay. So that is all for today. We'll not do much. In the next class, I'll teach you one more. Okay? But then here, from the next class onwards, we'll have many questions. And we'll solve smaller passages. Not this big. Smaller passages where you all understand the questions and how to find out the premise, the conclusion, and how to make those logical connections. Okay? See you all in the next class. And promise that you are going to be here. Everybody. Yes. And keep your spirits high. Don't worry about anything. Well, our kids, yes. Okay, books. See, the one book you can go for is, if you can get the book for SAT, okay, the previous year SAT books, SAT books. Okay, if you can get the previous year SAT books, they will be more than helpful for you all. Okay, try this. CLAT for the time being, go for SAT. Okay, and I expect all of you to be there in the next class also. Okay, I want you to make full use of my experience and my knowledge, all that I've gathered over the years. Okay, hope to see you. Bye-bye. Thank you all.